Being on this trail here reminds me of an experience I had in Albania. I don't know if you know, but Albania at one time was the worst country for persecuting people who were Christians and people who believed in God of any nation in the world. It was a very interesting thing that when the freedom came and God had just moved in a mighty way and the doors were open, I preached one of the very first evangelistic meetings in the country. And I went there, and my interpreter wanted me to bring me to his home village. And so we were in a place like this, and we were on this mountain trail, and we climbed this mountain. And as we were climbing it, there was a guide who was bringing us to the village. And he said something very interesting to us. He pointed us to a rock very similar to where I'm sitting, and a little cross and some rocks just like this place that I'm sitting. And he said, those rocks, every time I go by it, something happens to me. He says, I feel God is there. I don't understand it, but there's something special about it. You see, there used to be a church at that very spot, and there was a cemetery. And in that very spot, the rocks cried out that Jesus Christ is real and that Jesus Christ is alive. Do you remember what Jesus said? He said, if you don't praise me, the rocks will cry out. And that's exactly what happened in Albania that very day. That man was telling me the rocks were crying out to him that Jesus is alive, that God is real. Even when he was in an atheist country where he was taught there is no God and he could even go to prison or die if he believed in God, the rocks cried out. But you know what? God doesn't want the rocks crying out, just the rocks. He wants you crying out that Jesus is alive. He's chosen us not as stones, but those who have a living, beating heart with flesh and blood to proclaim the good news of Jesus Christ. If you don't do it, it may be that the rocks will do it. But God wants you to cry out who He is and what He can do in others' lives.